DVB Digital Fast.
Good afternoon, Kim. Thanks for sharing your time with us. First of all, on behalf of DVB, I would like to express our deep concern about your mother's health, as she is also our leader and national leader. Many people also worry about her well-being. So can you please share any update about your mother's health condition? And also, did you get any information from her lawyer or any official from Myanmar prison authorities? Can you please tell us any update about your mother's condition right now?
I'm afraid to say there's very little I know other than what I've already told the other media, and that is that her heart condition is likely to be getting worse. It's been reported that she's been complaining about the pain being worse and that her blood pressure has dropped. And she requested a cardiologist be allowed to see her from outside of the prison. I don't know if that has been granted. It's hard to know what is true since nobody outside of the military or the prison has seen her, as far as I'm aware. And in terms of her lawyers, I'm not in touch with them because I don't want to put them in any sort of danger. And I know that people monitor the communications and it can be difficult to talk to people and make sure that they're still safe. So I tend not to communicate with them.
I see. Also, we had, we seen some of her footage a few months ago from the prisons, leaked from the some prison officials. So have I'm sure you have watched all these video footage. So based on that, how she was kept in the prison is kind of like under, severe surveillance, like they are monitoring her 24 hours. So do you think this is a kind of like also breaking her privacy? Also, why do you think that
She's already been denied her basic human rights anyway. She's been kept in solitary confinement, from what I am aware. And they've already broken so much. I imagine that they like to break her privacy as well.
At the same time, the gender spokesman also talked to the press that she is in good health, she's in good condition. So, but nobody believed that. So, how do you think why they kept her in, isolation for a long time? Why don't they give any access to you? Is there any reason they're doing that?
They haven't given me any reason. Any time that I request access to my mother, they simply do not respond. So I do not know what they think. It's been clear over the years that they like to release various rumors about Meme's health and well-being. At one point, they had said that she had had a stroke. Another point, I had heard that she had died. So they like to keep people confused.
Yeah, that's very obvious. Yeah. And you also been trying to reach to international community about, that concern, your concern. You've been doing that every day. So is there any message from prominent leaders from the world for concern of her health condition or anything you heard from the international community?
I have heard many world leaders speak out for Meme's release and to know of her condition, but the fact is, none of them have been able to pressure the military into doing anything.
They can speak out individually, but as a kind of on behalf of the government, on behalf of the states, nobody can express their concern about. That's what I understand. Okay, so what is your attempt? You are trying to also communicate with the other civil society groups, political leaders, and also kind of NUG governments and etc. So that you are also communicating with them to share that message across, right? I saw you have been communicating with them a lot more than before. Yeah.
Indeed, anything that can help free Meme, I'm willing to engage with anybody who might be able to help in any way. But the fact is, I'm doing this for my own reasons. Some people think that I've started to get more political and that there's somebody pulling my strings. But this isn't the case. I'm doing this because I want to see Meme free. And that is the only reason. I'm not interested in Burmese politics or politics in general. Most politicians are people I would sooner avoid. So I won't be getting involved in politics if I can help it.
And also, I'd like to ask, not only this time you've been talking about your concern, but you've been raising your concern, your campaign, doing campaign for the Aung San Suu Kyi, something like her birthday, and and so also trying to raise fund for the people, vulnerable people affected by the violence and conflict in Myanmar. So can you also continue doing that kind of campaign these days? Like last time you did birthday campaign, and also you did kind of like the campaign of your artwork, something like that, fundraising campaign for your artwork. So are you doing similar campaigns to raise fund for the conflict affected community from Myanmar?
Well, right now, through the work that I've been helping with, we are already providing water for 7,000 IDPs. We've helped with the earthquake relief, and going forwards, we will be doing more for sure.
Yeah, actually Myanmar it's really now is very difficult situation. People facing very difficult situation. At one place, a lot of war, conflict, civil war going on in different part of the country. At the same time, people inside the countries are also facing very difficult condition from different crises, economic and. So if Aung San Suu Kyi will be free, what will be kind of benefit for the people from the country, and also how it will be kind of like beneficial for the majority group of people from Myanmar?
Well, during the brief period of democracy that Burma experienced, the economy was flourishing, many things were improving. And I think if Meme was freed, she would be able to help reconcile things. There's very few people in Burma who are interested in reconciliation at the moment. Most of them want to continue fighting. They don't want to talk. Meme can help bring people to the table to start talking.
So national reconciliation that Aung San Suu Kyi has been trying since the beginning. Once she entered in the country's politics, she started doing that. National reconciliation is our first priority, we all know. So, but if you look at the other countries' conditions, like very similar to Myanmar, like Bangladesh, Nepal, they have a kind of people uprising, and then they ask for government change, and kind of in a short time they can form the kind of interim government, like Bangladesh case and Nepal case. But in our case, Aung San Suu Kyi has been asking for that similar things, but we haven't reached through. So how do you think that this is a kind of the stubborn, or kind of, I don't know, the generals, military generals are really difficult to compromise or reconcile. So why do you think only the military from Myanmar is kind of very hard to talk to, or very hard to reconcile?
Well, the military in Burma have been entrenched for decades now, and I believe that there's a certain amount of brainwashing that goes on within the military ranks. So it's hard to try and dislodge that kind of ingrained actions. You know, they've been behaving this way for so long, it's very hard to get them to change. And at the moment, the leadership is particularly bad and is taking the rest of the military in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that is also true. When I also talk to some diplomats, and our country is now in a kind of getting back to the authoritarian state again. So that is kind of suddenly we see the situation like that. Even after the election, there will be even worse. We can see the kind of condition after that. Why do you think the international community is kind of keeping very quiet for the situation of Burma?
Well, the international community has other things on their minds at the moment, and they always have done. Burma gets pushed further down the agenda for most people. But people need to realize that what happens in Burma has a direct effect everywhere in the world. And if we do not show support for democracy in Burma, then we will start losing our rights everywhere in the world. People need to stand up for democracy everywhere, not just in their own countries.
Last question, I know that you have a kind of trying to do campaign about Dosu on the birthday campaign, especially you trying to reach to the Guinness World Record. So is there any update about that?
Well, we've actually beaten the Guinness World Record quite thoroughly, but the Guinness committee are not reaching out to us for whatever reasons. I think there may be some political reasons. I'm not sure exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Kim. Thanks for sharing your time. Is there any message you want to talk to DVB audience?
Well, I'd just like to say to the people of Burma that Burma will see a bright future free from tyranny. It will happen. It may take some time still, but I hope we can get there without too much further bloodshed. And just remember to look after yourselves and stay healthy, stay strong, keep fighting, do not give up. I will be there with you. And there are hundreds of thousands of people around the world who are doing everything they can to help. You may not hear about it, but they are there and they're doing everything they can. So do not give up.
Thank you so much, Kim, for sharing your time with us. And DVB also wish for your mother's speedy recovery. And then we wish her in good health in the future. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us,
Thank you,
Kim.
Momo.
Thank you.